matchup. This is Lions-Cowboys. I'm not feeling the juice this week, but there is something to it, right?
I hadn't really thought about how many good games these guys have played, I guess.
Kind of a rivalry.
Okay.
It could be. I mean, how many times do you play them, Barry?
At least like 4 or 5 times. I mean, it's nuts.
Welcome in. Cover for a brand new episode on Thursday. The first thing we got to do is clear up some of just what the talk has been. I don't know if the media created it or the locker room or who knows, but Tavon Austin, the fair catch, Jason Garrett taking the blame and taking ownership of it all. It is Thursday morning, but right now, right here, we're about to put it to bed. Let's hear what Tavon had to say.
Okay, the discussion should have been more complete in saying if you get in a situation where you do have a low kick and you can go north and south quickly and gain yardage, do that. We didn't communicate well enough with the player. Okay, that's on all of us. It's on me. It's on Keith. It's on every coach, every player involved in that situation. We didn't do a good enough job.
What day is today? Wednesday?
It is Wednesday.
I'm done talking about it.
Did you have a
frustrating situation?
I'm done talking about it.
Garrett did tell us that he had a conversation with you. Do you at least feel comfortable with that conversation and what was discussed?
I definitely feel comfortable with it, and just between me and him, and I'm done with it.
Appreciate it.
He's done with it.
This is me. This is me fair catching that conversation. Like, I could take it and run with it and keep talking about it, or I could just fair catch.
Okay.
On with my life.
I asked Barry about it before the show, obviously, because you know how this goes. And you said, did he have a conversation with Garrett? He did. We heard him talk about it. I think they're comfortable with it. I think Garrett is really good at not letting this persist in the locker room. You know that better than I do, but I think this won't be a lasting impact.
Not at all. I think it'll die down. I've been around Coach Garrett for a couple of years now, and I've never, heard of him or seen him throw somebody under the bus. So I think it'll die down. They probably hashed it out in that meeting they had.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Barry, but this is a team where if there is anything going on in the locker room, you guys keep the door shut on that. In the 6 seasons I've been here, Dave, 7, it doesn't get out to the media very much if there's a problem.
There's really no tea being spilled out there. I mean, they do a great job of just shutting the doors and keeping the lid on everything.
We need like a Facebook Live in the locker room.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Didn't do well for LSU.
Yeah. Let's get that going.
Let's go behind enemy lines because, yes, Matt Stafford did not practice yesterday. I believe he was standing around watching, but there are still some weapons in this game, still some people we need to take into account.
Absolutely.
And you've got a good matchup. Byron Jones how's he played this year to you?
I think Byron Jones has been rock solid, in all honesty. He doesn't have the interceptions that go with Pro Bowl cornerback play. That's never really been his game. For a guy that didn't have training camp, I think he's been solid, and he's going to need to be solid this week. I'm hoping, for Byron's sake, for this defense's sake, that Matt Stafford doesn't play because it'll make it all the more easy for him to shut down Kenny Golladay. You're talking about a 6'4", 215-pound stud of a receiver. He's got great hands. Jeff Driscoll's not going to get it to him as well as Matthew Stafford can. I think that plays to Byron's favor, but this is still a big physical guy. Cowboys don't really do a lot of that shadowing a receiver. They don't move their guys. I would in this case because Byron's got the length. He's 6'1". He's got those long arms. I would go where he goes because he is a mismatch for these cornerbacks. Cheeto's not as big as Byron. Jordan Lewis definitely isn't. I'm interested to see how that goes. I don't think they would do that, but I would.
And just to show you how, we don't hear a ton about the Lions. It's not like the Cowboys, obviously, but Kenny Golladay is number 1 in touchdown receptions.
Yep.
Amari Cooper is number 2. So this is the type of talent you're looking at. And Tay, you have Ezekiel Elliott, who is against the world.
Is against the world, Linz. You are right. But this is a matchup that the Cowboys can actually be excited about. The Lions front 7, well, this is a rush defense that is ranked 26th in the NFL. Yes, that is surprising, but Zeke left a lot of meals on the table last week. On paper, this looks like it could be an early Thanksgiving feast for Ezekiel Elliott. They need to take care of this opportunity, get Zeke out there. He is your best defense for this team. If you can control the time of possession, you can keep the defense off the field, this will be a win for the Cowboys.
Zeke, I'm sure, he does great when he's as you say, running pissed off or salty. And last week, less than 3 yards a carry. I think he might want a little bit of revenge.
Be a little salty out there on Sunday.
He seemed okay in the locker room.
Yeah, he seemed good. And you're right, Lindsay. He averages 70 yards in a game after a game where he had fewer than 50 yards.
All right, Barry, you've got Amari Cooper, who proved to us last week that even though he's now had 5 injuries on the lower half of his body, he can still play.
Oh, yeah. So this week I got Amari Cooper versus Darius Slay. Amari Cooper, we all know, is one of the best receivers in the game, one of the best route runners. He's been making defensive backs look foolish these past couple weeks. But this matchup is going to be a little bit tougher. He has Darius Slay, who excels in man-to-man man coverage, bump and run coverage, who we've seen give Amari Cooper fits in the past. So I'll be interested to see about how that works out. But Darius Slay, he's not the biggest of corners, so I got to give the strength matchup to Amari Cooper. Should win on 50-50 balls, contested balls, things of that nature. But overall, I got to give the slight edge to Amari Cooper just off of the simple fact of how he's made DBs look these past couple weeks. Let's go, Amari. Make me right.
Yeah.
Is Amari the new Megatron?
Amari on the practice report yesterday, though.
Yeah, he didn't practice.
He didn't practice.
I mean, his whole, everything below his waist
This
hurts.
point of the year, they're saying, hey, we need you to be good for games.
Not worried about him missing the game, but yeah. Probably.
He's a superhuman nowadays. We're
He really
realizing
is.
that.
Let's go to TBT. Obviously, these games are going to have a familiar face in them. Barry Church, let's first go back to 2016, what you called the year of glory.
Narrate this for us.
The greatest year of all time. 2016, Dak's rookie year, Zeke's rookie year. Your boy was out there balling. I mean, it was amazing. There go Dez with the end zone touch. I mean, it was just an amazing year. This game, I think we won by 20-some points.
Yeah, they scored your number.
There it
42.
is. I was sitting by the third quarter.
This is when
He left.
Oh my
that
God.
was just like the icing on top of the cake
I just
right
wish
here.
we could have went further this year. This was
That was when I was like, okay, what are the flights to Houston looking like? Cover 4 is going to be in what area of the convention center?
Look at my guy Garrett getting hyped.
It was the best.
I love when the coach throws up the one in the obvious extra point scenario. Like, yeah.
We know.
Back to 2014. This is a game, if you watch closely, this is where DeMarcus Lawrence solidified his name as a Dallas Cowboy with the redemption, heroic play at the end.
There were so many elements to this game. You had Romo. I mean, this is where Romoing came from. Hit Terrence Williams for the winner. I think they showed it. The Anthony Hitchens no flag on DPI, but homeboy had him by the face mask.
Yeah,
DeMarcus Lawrence was on IR for half the season. Actually, he coughed up a chance to win the game.
He had the game
5 snaps before that. This was
Terrence Williams was on the team.
legendary game.
Now we are in 2013, the last time Dallas played in Detroit. The Cowboys came up short, but our boy, Barry Church.
Oh, yeah.
This was your game.
This was legendary for the bad reasons. I mean, Calvin Johnson, I think, broke the single season receiving record or single game receiving record.
Who's that?
Oh, but look at your boy.
Who's
Led
that?
The Thunder. All right, that's what I do. Look at pinpoint right there on the
Do you
ball.
miss it? Do you miss it watching this?
Sundays, I miss Sundays. Not practice or meetings,
That's
but
fair
Sundays.
to say. That's fair to say.
Megatron, man. This was so stupid. Him and Dez were going back and forth. Oh, I forgot about that dude. Got him in position for the game-winning sneak. The thing I remember about this game is, like, us as a staff, we were on the sideline. We were watching the end of the game, and Derek Eagleton, our boss, used to bet us lunch. Like, you know, if the Cowboys win, he'll take us out to lunch. Cowboys were up 10 with like 5 minutes to play. We're like, all right, where are we getting this free lunch on Monday? And then
Hard 8.
And then Megatron happened.
Megatron.
Yeah, not great. Not great.
Well, when we bring our focus back to this Sunday, Cowboys 5-4, 2-minute drill time. What would a win against a Lions team actually mean? Barry, I'll look to you. I'm sure it means more as a player than watching as a fan.
It's just, getting back on track. I mean, it'll be trending in the right direction. We'll still be in first place if we get this win. We have the tiebreaker of the Eagles. So to me, it just means remaining in first place, getting that trend upwards, and we got to keep it rolling going for this playoff push.
Yeah, honestly, this wouldn't be an impressive win. If you're looking at your win column, this wouldn't be one that you're like, oh my gosh, we beat the Lions. But this would be an inexcusable loss. And that would be when the panic really sets in on this building. You have to take advantage of these teams that you can beat. This is a talented Cowboys roster. Get it going before this big stretch before Thanksgiving.
Dave, I saw you paraphrasing what Ezekiel Elliott said in the locker room yesterday, and I thought it was really good. Do you mind just sharing how he brought us all back down to earth?
I just really appreciated his honesty. Not that Zeke isn't honest, but he's really good at talking in cliches. He's good at not giving you stuff.
There he is.
So he said yesterday in the locker room, he was like, look, I'm not surprised that we're 5-4. Reporters like, oh, you're not surprised? And it was almost like people were trying to get him. Then he clarified and he's like, look, this is the NFL. Like, you're not going to win 13 games every year. You're not going to dominate everybody. We are 5-4. We're still in the playoff hunt, and that's all you want is you want to be in the race. So and for the record, I agree with him. For me, as a cynical media member, I'm just like, okay, well, they just had the disappointing loss. Now they're going to beat the team that they're better than, and we're really not going to learn anything about them. It's kind of like what Taylor said. Like, all we can learn this week is that they're even more disappointing than we thought they
want
were.
them to be as dominant as the roster looks.
Exactly.
That's
exactly.
it's a week. Assuming Matthew Stafford doesn't play. If he plays, I think it's a whole different animal. But
you just brought it up. They need to take advantage of Matthew Stafford not playing.
No, absolutely. But that's my point. Is like we can't learn anything about how good they are. We can only learn about how bad they are in this particular week, and then it sets you right back up where you're like, all right, we're 6-4, and we got a big game coming up. Like that's me being cynical, but that's just how I feel.
That's
so
just you, Dave.
They should take care of business. We'll see if they actually do.
Can't be like the Jets.
Exactly. Like that's
No
another
Jets
week where
business.
the only thing you can learn in that game is something disappointing. So hopefully, treat it like a business trip. Take care of business. Let's do it.
Get him right, Dave.
Noon Sunday. Well, we have another show tomorrow. Boldies, so much more. Game predictions. Don't go anywhere. Don't leave for the weekend yet. Friday morning, we'll see you back here.
Deuces.
Deuces.